coming here and presenting your research after a 2-month hectic preparation. While the judges would be handing out the final scores, and it will take some time for us to collate. So once the judges have handed out their scoring sheets, I will request the judges to provide their sense in terms of overall feedback and insights as to where there could have been areas of improvement, etc., which could go a long way in terms of your careers. So we'll just wait out till the judges hand over the grading sheets to us, and then we'll ask judges one by one to provide their feedback.
Now they've been called by pseudo, a Greek philosopher's name. So now it's the time to know the real college names. So I'll just introduce the teams in the order of their presentation. Okay. And when I call your college name, please just stand up and introduce yourself. So the first team to present was Harriet Taylor Mill from XIM Bhubaneswar. So maybe. Team 2, Han Reiner from Vinod Gupta School of Management, IIT Kharagpur. Team 3, Bruno Leoni from IIM Ranchi. Team 4, Aristotle from IIM Calcutta. Team 5, Carl Schmidt from IIM Shillong. Team 6, Alon Ben Meir from IIFT Kolkata. And the final team, Team 7, Henry David Thuru from XLRI Jamshedpur. Now we'll just request our judges, maybe from Mr. Datta, to come and give feedback, general short brief feedback to the students on his general thoughts and how they can improve.
Before you sort of embark on looking at a company and presenting, let me ask this basic question. Have you ever invested a single rupee in the stock markets? Any one of you? Let's see who all raises their hands. Okay. So if you would have looked at this company, if you are, say, somewhat following the markets, would you have looked at this company a year back and thought that it's worth investing? See, if you were to do this exercise exactly a year back, would you have invested in this company? So people at least who invest, I'm not people who raise their hands. And why not? I think that's the better answer. Which means that this year, the fact that production will drop in Assam due to weather conditions and tea prices will go up so substantially is something which none of us could have mostly called around this time last year. Which means, I'm just trying to give you a sense that the moment you actually try to practice what you preach, which is try to sort of implement this kind of research in real life, a lot of times we are caught unawares by things which we normally would not anticipate. Where, say, the DCFs go for a toss, where interest rates move, interest and exchange rates are very volatile. So I would think whenever one is trying to do something of this sort, try to maybe put up a slide. See, I think a lot of people talked about risks. What can go wrong? I would think there has to be more work done on that. So we know all the stories. I think people who have followed this company, if you actually become a sell-side analyst, a buy-side analyst, a fund manager, whatever, the basic 6-8 slides on what is McLeod, what is its business, what has it done over the last 5-7 years would mostly be known to you. That is, as they say, it is in the price. The market knows it. Mostly we should try and do things, focus on things which the market does not know and which we think can go in our favor. I mean, if we are recommending a buy or if we are recommending a sell, can go against us. So that is my, one basic advice. Secondly, I ask this question consistently to all the teams. And, I think mostly people do not study the capital structure of companies properly. If you look at a balance sheet of McLeod Russell, all of you should be able to see there is something called a treasury stock in this company. McLeod Russell has this subsidiary called Borelli Holdings, which owns its own shares. So this Borelli Holdings, and it is not why I ask this question across the board, it's a material number. That is as much as 25% of McLeod's equity. which is held by itself. These are not stocks which are extinguished. If you do a share buyback in India, you actually necessarily extinguish the shares, and your equity capital goes down to that extent. Here, the stock is very much existent in this foreign subsidiary, which is controlled by McLeod Russell. So the company owns its own stock. So how do you account for that? I think somebody's mind should have sort of been applied to this issue, because it's a material number. 25% of the market cap is held by itself. So I leave a thought with you that when you go back, when you go to your mentors, your institutes, and you look up the same company's annual report once again, you must try and figure out how to go about this. Finally, I would think, there should be, some, should one say, discussion on the nature of the business. I mean, we talked about productivity, this, that, so many others. But this is essentially a commodity business like, say, a steel or a cement business or whatever is. I mean, so there are certain things which are beyond the control of this company, and there are certain things where it can improve itself. Like if you see, somebody pointed out that actually, though land use cannot increase, we agree. So there would not be too many new tea plantations in India, let's say. But can productivity per hectare go up? Because if the gap between demand growth and supply growth is just 1%, 1.5%, we are saying that supply is growing at 1%, demand is growing at 2.5%. So the gap is just 1%, 1.5%. If you're able to improve productivity by even 2%, then a lot of this story may not hold. Then demand and supply will be matched, and prices will remain where they are. So there was at least a 7-8 year period between 1999 and 2007, recent history, I'm not going to 1930s, 40s, whatever, where you would see tea prices actually did not go anywhere. And the stock prices of tea companies did not go anywhere. So can we have such a phase maybe in the next 1 or 2 years? Say for the next 3 to 4 years, maybe the stock would be stagnant. So these are some suggestions. I mean, it's mostly because, one is a practitioner. I mean, whatever, we have looked at this company, we have met the management and done some work earlier. So these are some, I think from a real life perspective, that is something I can share with you. Overall, it's a good job done. I mean, I think keep it up, put in an effort, and let's see.
And what we have done this year is that we are also handing out the ethics which has been propounded and focused on by the CFA Institute in a very, very meaningful way. And ethics is also a part of the overall curriculum and assessment as well. So we are handing out a framed ethics statement to all the faculties of the participating institutes and the members of the winning team along with the judges. So I hope this constantly in your view will improve in terms of the integrity and ethics, which is very much desired in our profession after what has happened in the last 5-7 years.
May I request Mr. Basant Maheshwari to come and offer his feedback?
I tried to cover a few topics, so I'll go a bit fast and a bit just touchy. I won't go details into them. First thing about investing, I mean, it's good to do a DCF or whatever, but there are some things where DCF doesn't work, and this is one of those. Even, I think now Mr. Ratan Tata is retired, so even 1 week back or 1 month back, had you asked him, sir, what would be the price of steel next year at London Metal Exchange, I'm 100% sure he wouldn't be able to say. And we are thinking of FY14, FY15, FY16, FY17. It doesn't work that way. What we have to do with such companies is take a broad gauge. I mean, I'll just come to one more thing before I do this. There are 4 different types of investments that we normally make. First is a brand, patents, copyrights, trademarks, no competition at all. I mean, if you have made a drug, or not a drug in that sense, but a pharmaceutical capsule, where one pop and your height increases 2 inches. So, you can charge anything. There's no competition at all. एक गोली खाइए और 2 इंच height बढ़ाइए. आप जितना ही पैसा लीजिए, whatever be the cost, you can put on the AC for night also, your company will never lose money. So that's one type of investment. That comes at a price. It's very expensive. Skeptics in the stock market will say, "Arey PE to 40 hai," right? So it'll remain that way. So patents, copyrights, trademarks, whatever. That's one type of investment. The other type of investment is where is a huge cost of production, huge cost of investment. Say I don't like Indian Railways because the TT comes wearing the same coat every time I travel. I don't have an option. I can't put my own railways running alongside because the cost of laying down a railway is very big. So there's a big moat there, what Warren Buffett talks about. So nobody can get into that business. Still I can charge money. Third is called the network effect. Network effect is if I am on Airtel and my wife is on Airtel and my family members are on Airtel and somebody comes and tells me, why don't you switch to Vodafone? I'll say, nahi yaar, sab koi Airtel mein, why should I switch? Or if all my customers and my suppliers are on HDFC Bank, why should I switch? So that's one type of making money. And this is the last type, where it's a typical commodity. Mr. Khaitan wouldn't know what the price of tea would be 5 weeks afterwards. Otherwise, he would leave his company and start betting on tea prices, right? So these kind of companies, free cash flow doesn't work, useless. You can just do it for academic purpose. CAPM, more useless. And beta with livered, unlivered, कोई दरकार नहीं है sir. सीधा इसमें देखने का है. In simple Hindi, I will tell you. Last down cycle में, what was the enterprise value per kg of tea? Last up cycle mein, what was the enterprise value per kg of tea? You don't have to catch the bottom. You don't have to catch the top. You have to catch the stock somewhere nearer to the bottom and sell it somewhere nearer to the top, hoping that the last top won't be breached, and when you buy it, the last bottom won't be breached. In the stock market, bottoms and tops are caught only by fools and liars. So there's no need to catch the bottom, no need to catch the top. Just make a sense. Kya hoega? One thing which I always found very funny was just because we've been taught something, we don't have to use it. So DCF हम लोग करते हैं. Unfortunately or fortunately, out of 7,000 listed companies, I don't think even 500 would qualify for DCF. What companies would qualify for DCF? Pharmaceutical, FMCG, maybe IT services, maybe here and there, but not more than that. Because you can't predict, and wherever you can't predict, there's no point in doing a DCF. Second most important thing, management nobody talked about. I mean, is Mr. Khaitan good? Not good looking or bad looking. Matlab, is he good? Can I trust him? Does he have integrity? Were there past issues? What was the problem when they merged Eveready with themselves? What was the ratio? How did shareholders react? I can tell you one thing. You buy a stock at 50 times earnings and buy it with a first grade management in a good business, you'll make money. You buy a stock at 5 times earnings, buy it with a third grade management with a fourth grade business, you will lose money. It's very simple. So first thing is the business and the management. Most of you are from, would be aware that Mr. Narayan Murthy started working under Patni Computers, right? 1979. Compare the market caps. 1982, Ashank Desai of Mastech started his company and Narayan Murthy started Infosys. Compare the market caps. Wipro was a FMCG company in 1982-83. Compare the market caps. There's a viral internet email which goes on saying that 10,000 rupees invested in Wipro in 1982 would have become 300 crores now. So this is the kind of money that make, but you have to think about the management, because what differentiates a Wipro from a Satyam? What differentiates a Wipro from whatever? So that is very important. Fourthly, if McLeod Russell does an acquisition, you know, what's the one thing that the stock market valuation depends on? Just one phrase, anything? One word? It's not the P ratio, it's not the market cap, it's the free cash flow. If you have free cash flow, you will get a high P. If you don't have free cash flow, bad luck. So if he does acquisition, it's an intensely capex intensive business. They can't control prices. They can't control production with, you know, putting further capital to work. So what they can do, they only have one option. They're a price taker and they can control costs. So I asked this to several of you, what advice would you give them? The only advice was, sir, kharcha kam kar dijiye. Bus se jaiye, taxi mat use kariye. That's the only advice. You can only control cost. You can't do anything else. So anyway, so this is besides it. So I might extend my time duration. Finally, word of advice for all of you. Since you will be in work maybe a year from now, or maybe 6 months or 1.5 years, the first thing that you should do is, if you want to make a living in this market, I put 100% of my money in equities. I have no fixed deposits, no real estate, nothing. And I make a living out of investing. But you don't have to be like me, or I don't have to be like anybody else. But what I want to tell you is, you have to keep investing in yourself. You have to read. There is no substitute to reading. I mean, 2 years of management degree, they'll tell you to control risk. But the moment you step into the stock market, you have to think of taking risk. And taking risk in a calculated manner. So you have to, there are 2 ways of learning it. Either by blowing up your own money, Most of the first-time investors would have blown up their own money. If they have done it, very good. Because if you haven't done it, you will do it with a larger capital the next time. So, first thing is you have to start reading. There is no substitute to reading. Warren Buffett, Peter Lynch, these are two names. Just read everything that you get on them. And I think you'll be as good as 60% of the best analysts on Dalal Street. As good as, if not more. So reading, there's no substitute. I keep repeating. Just read, find all of the books. Because you can read and you can find out what were the mistakes those guys did and what were the areas those people worked on, and you can make money of your own. It becomes very easy once you do that. So these are the few things that I wanted to share with you. Otherwise, have a good time. Thank you so much.
As he said, one has to continuously read and read, so this way will ensure.
Thank you.
Now can I ask Mr. Sanjay Bhavania please to share his thoughts?
It is always difficult to be the last speaker because Anirban and Basanji has already covered almost all the points. But definitely I missed the point on management, which when I go to invest, I put 40% weightage on the management. So discussion on management, corporate governance, their payout ratio, how shareholder friendly they are. It will give you confidence in case of crisis, in case of recessionary periods, how the management will behave. When the going is good and the cash flows are happening, things will be positive and people will tend to buy the stock and the prices will move on. So shareholder value, dividend payout ratios, and the quality of management and the corporate governance that they have done. He made a very good point on the demerger and Eveready or acquisition and the merger of the companies. We discussed about global acquisition of tea gardens across Africa, but we did not discuss. Only I think one presentation discussed about the valuation of tea gardens per se. So valuation of tea garden in African markets vis-a-vis in Indian market is very different. I think it is around 3 times higher than Indian market have a valuation of 3 times than the global acquisition prices. But we did not discuss about that. Writing a report on the sell side, as Anirban was saying, is something very different from when it comes to me, what I want to understand from the company, because 60% of the report that you prepare is known to everybody, because it comes out from industry data sources, it comes out from corporate balance sheet, which is a public domain document. So what you want to communicate, one thing that will hit me to go into that stock, because I have an option of 7,000 stocks. So from the investment point of view. So your job is very highly cut out based on those parameters. So we have to give investment rationale why we want to be part of this business. And what are the sensitivity and analysis should be more in focus. So this is what I wanted to just share. Thank you.
So a lot of heart-skipping moments. So obviously I have the scores. And obviously, as you might have already been knowing from interactions with your alumni from the last years, that we don't disclose the second onwards. So it is only the winner who is disclosed. But just to give some feedback, though I'm not entitled to give any feedback in my today's role. Akin to last year, there was a very, very tough fight between two teams. I mean, given the scoring that I have in my hand, so the two teams were very neck to neck in terms of today's grades. But unfortunately, there can be only one winner. So without much of ado, the winner for today's is Carl Smith IIM Shillong.